Welcome back to getting your app ready for publishing. We're now going to drop down our menu here to Application Settings and click on it. Application settings are very important, and it's an area where you can enable or disable a number of things that help your app work correctly. One of the things you need to consider is if you have images in your app that may be portrait or landscape, and you want your viewers to be able to view them in whatever rotation is appropriate, then you need to check this box here, Enable Apps Rotation. It's disabled by default, so to get it working in your app you need to check that box there. If you want to enable Zoom for external sites, you can click this one here. If you want to share your app and it's on Google Play, you would put your link in there. That's the Google Play link, sharing link. Coming down to access control, you can choose whether everyone can view your app or just yourself. And you can allow restricted access by allowing everyone to view the app. You can type in an access code here, and then you can choose whether people that don't have the access code, whether they can have access to geofences, publish notifications, announcements pages, calendar pages, coupon pages, loyalty pages, and product order pages. So you can use this access code in your marketing attempts. So if people download your app and they want to get access to your coupons or your loyalty pages, you could require that they sign up on your mailing list and then they get the access code to put in to access those parts of your app. And it also allows you to test your app and not give everybody access to everything in your app. In-app settings is also important. You can force sync, which allows your users to synchronize files and resources and keep their app resources up to date. You can allow users to clear synchronized app resources and revert the app to the state it was right after installation. If you're going to be using mobile ads in your app, this is where you enter the API keys for your different mobile app accounts. The first one is for Polefish, and you indicate where the app is, what side of your app, left or right, top, middle or bottom, or don't show, and how much padding you want around your Polefish ads. And there's a note here, the padding from top or bottom of the screen according to position of the indicator 0 is the default value. If used in the middle position, padding is calculating from the top. So that's useful information for when you want to style how your ad shows and is positioned on the page. Ad mob, you need your banner unit ID or interstitial ad unit ID, which you get from your AdMob account. Double click for publishers, unit ID is required there. RevMob, your app ID with RevMob is required there. And my ads refresh rate, so on and so forth. So that's for adding in your details for the different mobile ad accounts that you might utilize within your app. If you're using a Facebook application, you need to put the ID of that Facebook application here. Page specific options only apply if you are using SharePoint or PDFtron license. Google Analytics, you can put your account ID here for your Google Analytics so you can track usage and views and so on and so forth from Google Analytics. If you want to use your own email server, then you can fill in the details here so that your emails sent from your app go from your own address. If you don't utilize this, then all your emails will go out as being sent from the Mobiblocks mail server, which is part of Seattle Clouds. If you want to share on Facebook from your own FTP host, then you need to include your FTP information here. Platform specific options. If you are using in-app billing within your Android app, you need to check this. Android application licensing public key required. You can find it on your Google Play Publisher Console under Services and API section of your app settings. Be careful to copy it correctly, otherwise the app will not start if you enable application licensing, in-app billing or expansion files. So you need to get that code, that key, from your Google Play Publisher Console and paste it in here. The same if you're using Android application licensing or using expansion files. That section must be completed. Here you can choose the install location of your Android application. It can be auto, or you can prefer that it be put on an SD card or internal only. And there's a note here that if you want to publish your app on Google Play and it exceeds the 50 megabyte APK limit, enable this option to keep all your app resources in expansion files, and they will be sent to you with the APK file when you request a build. If you're using Google Maps, you need an Android API version 2 key. And you need to follow the directions here to get that key. And then you put your key in the box below, copy and paste it from your Google API console once you've created it. And the last option here is to scale web pages to base resolution, and to check that if you want to scale your web pages. Now, if you've designed and optimized your app for the standard screen of 320 pixels, that's the standard iPhone screen width, enable this option to scale pages so that they will fit the width of the device screen, because not all mobile devices are that same width. So checking this scale web pages to base resolution will help fix that problem, and your pages will look good. Don't forget to save your changes. Localization is where we can edit our app strings. Now this is really useful if you want to change different aspects of your tabs, like wherever tab shows up in your app, you can change that to show something else. You need to give it a name and a value. Same with home, customize, send, camera, so on and so forth. So if you are creating an app in another language other than English, this is where you change these values. Or if you particularly want it to say something else in English, you can change that here. And don't forget to save your changes. And there's lots of different things here that you can change, especially for different language apps. Clicking here, we can go back to app settings. And the last one, which is edit app XML. Now, if you're not into coding and don't know anything about XML, well, don't bother with this edit app XML. However, if you do know how to use it, there are a few things that you can quickly change here. Like here you see item icon, it's the home white PNG, text is home, text color, that's the color code for white. If you wanted to quickly change that and you had your color code, you could just change it here. So different things like that that you can do. Otherwise, you don't need to worry about the edit app XML at all. And that ends the intro to setting up what needs to be set up before you publish your app. Remember, the platform specific options, very important if you're using in-app billing and expansion files and Google Maps.